Hi, I'm Miriam with Dorman Products, here to talk to you today about our keys and keyless entry remotes. Keys are pretty easily understood. They're a security item designed to prevent unauthorized entry or operation of a vehicle. Today, we use the term key sort of loosely, and your customer will probably do the same. Let's talk about the different types so you can best help your customers. First, we have the standard key. These are just a metal key with a specific tooth pattern that engages pins in the lock tumbler, which operates the ignition switch. Usually, these are all metal. You'll sometimes see these provided just for vehicle entry on vehicles with keyless remotes. Standard metal keys can be cut by a special machine that you may or may not have in your store. Common places to have these keys duplicated are hardware stores or dealerships. Later, these morphed into transponder keys. Often called chip keys, these look like their metal counterparts, sometimes with a rubber or plastic head on them where the chip resides. Near the ignition switch, there is an electronic item called an immobilizer that communicates with the key to verify it is the correct one. These systems, as well as anything else mentioned from here on out, require programming in addition to the cutting mentioned earlier. After those, we began to see key fobs join the fray. Key fobs are separate boxes that join keys and have some keyless functions, like the ability to remotely lock and unlock doors, start the vehicle, and turn on lights or open trunks. Many times they have an alarm function built in as well. An offshoot of this is the integrated key, which is a transponder key that has a fairly large head that has the fob integrated into the key itself, rather than being a separate item on the ring. A popular variant of this is the flip key, whereby a button is pressed and the key blade extends out from the fob. And finally, we have the keyless entry remote, commonly called a fob. Keyless entry remotes will sometimes have a valet key integrated. Some cars require the fob to be inserted into the vehicle, and others simply require it to be within a certain distance of the car. As you can see, this isn't as simple as it once was. Your retail customers will come into your store for a variety of reasons. The most common is probably a remote or fob that's not working as well as it once did, or possibly not at all. This is usually due to an aging battery. Your store may or may not sell these. A CR2032 is an overwhelmingly popular choice, and replacement is usually not very difficult. So you should feel comfortable encouraging your walk-in customers to tackle the job, if not step in and do it yourself. Another reason a customer might wander in has to do with a broken or worn fob. Dorman offers replacement cases for many vehicles to freshen up the appearance of a gross or damaged case. Sometimes these are appropriate on fobs where button icons have been worn away from use. For a quick just make it work solution, or for an uncommon vehicle where replacements are no longer available, we also have a universal repair kit you may want to investigate. Be aware that our covers usually require swapping over the electronic internals, so this is only an effective repair if the fob still functions. And for a customer who wants a different look, you can offer some of the Dorman custom covers. These can be special ordered if your store doesn't have them, but consider putting them in our display near your register. They're a great impulse buy. Many people who come into your store may not even know parts like these exist. Customers also may come to see you due to lost or broken fobs or keys. Tread carefully here because the replacement process ranges from very simple to extremely difficult. Some cars require a certain number of factory fobs to be present at the time of programming, and others require all fobs to be programmed at once. If a customer is replacing a fob or remote, make sure you capture all the necessary information. Sometimes key fobs and remotes can have different amounts of buttons depending on the year or model or even the trim level, as not all functions are the same across all vehicles. Some vehicles require a lengthy programming sequence and others do not. Some require specialized, powerful scan tools found only at professional repair facilities, and sometimes just the dealer. Make recommendations with care. Also remember that an integrated key will need to be cut. I'll come back to that topic in just a moment because your customer may have a little trouble with this part of the repair. A good rule of thumb when selling Dorman items is to examine the part number. If you see the suffix of ST on the end of a part number, that means it requires a specialized scan tool and is not appropriate for your walk-in customers. The repair facilities will often order these and have the capability to program them. For some vehicles, we have OE-fix keyless remotes that bypass the need for a scanner. These patented programmers are targeted to customers just like the ones who will walk into your store. They're not professional mechanics and they don't need to be with our kits. All your customer has to do is plug in the included programmer into the OBD2 port, follow the included instructions, and that's it. You can sell these with confidence because they're designed to help a walk-in customer out of a jam. Go to dormanproducts.com and scroll down to the programming instructions, and you'll be able to review them with your customer in the store. A quick item of note. Sometimes a cut valet key that is located within a fob can be transferred to a replacement. Other times the key is integral with our replacement, so the key may need to be cut professionally after it is programmed at your store, or perhaps by a third party. Standard key cuts usually are not a major undertaking, but laser cut keys can be a real pain. Many dealers cannot even replicate this type of key, and without one to pattern, cutting may not be possible except by dealers or specialized locksmiths. Warn your customer of this so it's not a surprise. It can get expensive quickly. If the required keys are completely gone, Dorman also sells complete ignition lock cylinders to get a car operable again, though obviously these require some more work. We offer some OE fix cylinders too, to make installations a little easier, again including programmers to turn these tasks into easier undertakings for at-home mechanics. One of the downsides of a replacement key is that without replacing all the other lock cylinders in the doors and trunk or tailgate, another key must be carried, and the key to enter the vehicle will be different than the one required to operate the vehicle. There's not a lot to sell beyond our parts. Specialty tools usually aren't needed, and anything Dorman makes that's geared to a DIY customer won't require scan tools or anything uncommon. If your customer winds up replacing a lock cylinder, those can require a bit more work and tools, but for the most part, they're straightforward removals and replacements. As you can see, there are plenty of obstacles to navigate when a customer comes in needing a replacement key, key fob, or keyless remote, many of which are dependent on the type and age of the vehicle, right down to the submodel. But remember, if you need any help before, during, or after the sale, our Dorman technical support team is always available to help. Give them a call at 866-933-2911. Thanks for taking a little time to brush up on keys. We hope it helps you and your customers. I'm Miriam, and I'll see you next time.